understand that we're in hostile territory. This isn't a time of peace. It's against the principalities and the powers that are puppeteering the people. And we are in a position to see souls set free. This has been the ancient war cry throughout all the generations of the Hebrew nation. Rock!
How are you feeling over there?
I'm fine.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm good. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but I mean, we'll wing it, right? Winging a prayer.
Yep. So we forgot our hotspot, so we'll see how this goes with the.
It'll either be great or it'll be a waste of 2 hours of our lives.
If nothing else, it'd just be audio. The audio does fine. It's the video quality.
Oh, okay.
All right. So.
What are we calling this?
I don't know yet. You want to do David in the Lion's Den.
The Battle Room Unscripted.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Off script.
Yeah.
Good.
So here we go. I mean, I've been recording for a minute.
Yeah.
So, welcome to another episode of the Battle Room Podcast. Like we said last week, we don't have a topic or an agenda. We're just going to kind of shoot from the hip. David's nervous.
Scared to death.
Yeah. So, we're going to do some introductions because we have a new face here. Stanton has to work today, so he wasn't able to join us. So we already had decided we were going to have a guest. This is my little brother, Nathan, Nate. And, so he's our first official guest on the podcast. Lucky him.
Yeah. Welcome.
Yeah. Welcome to the Battle Room.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Actually,
Don't you love
yeah,
the decor?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
decor. It's nice.
this is a temporary. When we get where we're really going, I'm gonna call it the Battle Dome. And so this is Battle Dome Junior here.
I did tell Amy that the wives are in charge of decorating.
Yeah, Amanda's not going for that.
So this is the extent of my decorate. Well, I did add the
He
the
put
plant.
the silly plant in here after we left.
so, and then what? 6 books
Yeah,
on an empty bookshelf.
Yeah.
So, if anybody's noticed that in the first 3 episodes,
yeah,
we are a work in progress for sure.
yeah. I looked at getting a banner to put in behind me.
Yep.
And so I might have to get with you on our logo image that you had converted so that I can use it. So anyways, it's just a shoot from the hip kind of deal. Making David nervous. So, before we dive into it, how'd your week go? You have anything exciting to talk about how your week went?
Yeah. So my week, I'm always going somewhere with my work. I was in Florida this past week, and I don't know, nothing really eventful there. The one thing that, so I rented a car. I flew down to Orlando, rented a car, drove all week in this rental. Of course, if you've ever done that, you'll have a license plate from anywhere. And so you'll appreciate this. I just now thought about this. My license plate was
Was it New Hampshire?
New Hampshire.
Nice.
And, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together until about halfway through the week that I just kept getting all these ugly looks from, I guess, locals. I wouldn't do anything. Okay. I'm not the fastest driver in the world.
He is not.
All right.
He's 55 no matter where he goes.
Huh.
And so I'm in Orlando, right? Big city, fast. Everybody drives fast, right? Any kind of big city. But I was getting I was driving just like I do in Nashville or Memphis or anywhere. And I was getting all these dirty looks. I was like, what am I doing wrong? And I realized it's got to be the New Hampshire license plate. I mean, I'd have people honking and looking at me as they pass me by, or one guy was behind me throwing up his hands, and I'm just behind the next guy in traffic. I mean, it's not he could have gone around me, but I don't know. That was the weirdest thing. So anytime you rent a car, you turn it in, they go, hey, how was this week? Anything we could have done to improve, and I didn't, but I should have said, next time, put me down for a Florida license plate
or Georgia
or yeah,
a southern state.
south of the Mason-Dixon
Yeah.
line, because that was a little absurd.
You know that song, I Can't Drive 55? It's meant, because he's got to go above 55. But Dave is like, I can't drive 55 because that's too fast.
Whatever.
And when we go places, he's like, you want me to drive? I'm like, no, I got a dog.
I just got too much on my mind to be thinking about how fast I'm going.
And
It's fine, to be honest. We come by it honestly from our dad. He taught us how to drive. I don't think that man drives below 80 anywhere.
well, I don't drive that fast. I do 5 over the speed limit.
Okay.
5 over.
Your y'all's dad does not. He does
55 over.
Yeah, 15 to 20 over. So where are you in this?
I'm right where Dad's at. Like, if there's nobody in front of me, I don't even pay attention. I'm just cruising.
Even if someone's in front of him, dude, I hated going anywhere with him in New Hampshire because he was a typical Yankee. He's yelling inside the car like the car in front of him can hear exactly what's going on.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Can't do that down
I
here.
mean, it's fine.
So, you have anything exciting happen this week?
I did, I guess.
Well, so first off, we're kind of painting. Nobody knows who you are unless they know who you are.
Oh, yeah.
So I said something about New Hampshire. You're talking about driving in New Hampshire, but you're here in Tennessee with us doing this podcast. So what's going on?
Yeah. Good call.
Introduction.
So
So I am the baby brother here. I originally from Memphis, Tennessee, but moved around a lot. Lived in New Hampshire for like the last 15 years, where I met my wife. We have 2 kids. So we decided we wanted to move down. It was kind of on our list of things to do, but never really got around to doing it. And then just within the last year, God's kind of opened some doors and made some things happen so we could do that and move down here. And really, it's a testament to, I say us stepping out on faith, but my wife was, full on for it, to the point where we had that conversation where she's like, I feel like you're kind of fleecing God here. You need to just, you got to get on board. So,
so she's from New Hampshire.
She's originally from New York. She was born in New York. When she was little, her mom moved her to New Hampshire, and she's been there her whole life. But coming down here, she loved visiting, loved the weather, and moving down kind of afforded us opportunities we couldn't have up there, with land and things like that. So that was the plan, and we moved. We believed for it. My wife was fully sold out on God and knew that He was going to do what He was going to do, and I was reluctant to let go of one branch until I had the other, job wise, and I finally, she's like, you got to just believe for it. So I finally quit my job. We were both jobless for a little while, which is scary. Yeah. And we had nothing to move to. So we had no house, no job, nothing really. And then I had a friend that I used to work with at the job that I was at, and they were selling their camper, and Fran and I talked about it, and we're like, hey, we should just buy that and we could camp until we find a house. So that's what we did. Bought the camper, never drove towing a camper in my life. So why not, for the first time, travel 1,300 miles? That sounds like a good time. So yeah, we did. We packed everything up, kids and everything, and moved down. And with the day after I got here, I got a phone call from a company, and that Friday they offered me a job. And then by the end of the next week, we had, I think I had an offer in on a house, which we just moved into Tuesday, closed, moved into the house, and started moving things in. So, within a month's time, really, God had everything wrapped up. He just really wanted us to trust in His plan and
make the move.
Yeah. So, and we did. So we're here in Tennessee, and I'm back. She's living down here for the first time, and things are going well. So
that's awesome. So you moved down here, though. at the time you moved, you didn't know where you're going to work, and you didn't know where you're going to live.
Yeah.
At the time you were traveling, when you got in the vehicle to travel 1,300 miles back to Tennessee, those were two unknowns.
Yeah, he just knew where the camper was going to go. That was it.
Yeah,
where we're parking.
And
the
he wasn't
camper.
too sure if he was going to have water or electricity because we had to do or Dad had to do some work. I climbed up under the house. We found a bunch of leaks, but other than that,
and that was
kind of a huge leap of faith.
Yeah, that was, you know, again, my dad, huge help. There's a lot of people that helped us, you know, but we were planning on just staying at like Chickasaw or wherever, just move the camper around at campsites. And my dad's like, no, like we're going to set this up. You're going to stay next door. So, you know, I really do appreciate my dad doing that. And then all the help from family members, you know, making sure that we had things that we needed when we got here. So, you know, good support system from family and friends down here. And, you know,
that's awesome.
God took care of everything else.
And so now you have a job, you have a house,
yeah,
that you are living in.
Yeah.
Yes, as of the day we closed, the wife could not wait. I believe the four walls in the camper were getting kind of tight for Fran's my wife, and so Fran was so ready, and so we closed. And the minute we closed, she went and got the U-Haul to start pulling things out of like the camper and the storage unit that we had down here. So
yeah, because the camper, this was for you, your wife, and your two boys
and two cats.
Yeah, and two cats.
And two cats.
Yeah.
And your boys are how old?
7. Well, one just turned 7 Wednesday. So the day after we closed, he turned 7. And then the youngest is 5. So
yeah. That's tight quarters for little ones.
Yeah,
full of energy.
Yes, 100%. You know, and
that'd be tight quarters for you and me.
Yeah, right. At least the weather was nice.
The weather was great.
Yeah.
It just started getting a little cool here and there, and you know, as the boys call them, you know, Papa and Meemaw were really great. You know, with the kids and Fran when I'm working, and you know, spending time with them and having them over. So
yeah,
and they've been super helpful, and so yeah, like you know, God is good. He totally took care of us and laid His path for us out, and we just had to believe for it.
So you haven't mentioned that your wife has found a job yet.
So
he's being all kind of nosy. Are we doing an interview?
Well, I mean, this is a guest. This is we got everybody needs to know about who our guest is.
Yeah, we're going to put your business out on the street.
Never mind.
No, don't. No, that's right. Yeah. So
it's good. So part of the reason we want to move down here, you know,
it's like I'm asking questions I know the answer
I know.
to.
I'm just messing with you.
But
come on, I'm messing with you, bro.
It's good. So part of the reason we moved down here, Fran's a worker. She wants to be busy. That's her thing. She's not someone that likes being inactive. So she wanted to have a job, but us both having a job at the same time and having the 2 kids, you know, we didn't want to put them in the school system. We wanted to homeschool them, and she also wanted to homestead. And so, you know, she was trying to put a lot on her plate. So she did actually find a job, and she worked it for a couple of days until she realized that, you know, between my job, her job, homeschooling, and, you know, when we moved in the house doing the homestead thing, that was a lot.
Yeah.
And, you know, her being fully reliant on me, I think was, you know, kind of nerve wracking for her. You know, she's always provided for herself since she's been an adult. She's always had a job, paid her own bills, you know, made her own way. So she was a little reluctant to that was, I guess, her reluctance was to be sold out on relying on me as, you know, the provider. And my reluctance was, you know, obviously I wanted to know I had something that we were going to.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, full disclosure, you don't have to answer any question.
I'm just messing with you, dude.
Yeah, but I mean,
because
we talked about
you
this.
got hot because I told you not to turn it down.
No, I mean, I'm like cooking.
Are you really?
With this vest on, so it's going to come off here in a minute. But no, I mean, that's what we discussed same thing. Is like part of what we're doing here on this podcast is to be open and honest and real and raw about who we are and what we're doing. But at the same time, like we understand our wives don't want us to air everything to the world, all how many followers we
Dude,
got
I don't
now?
know. It's different on each platform.
Yeah.
So-
We're gaining ground, but we don't have a huge following, but we do know it's being put out there for everybody. So yeah, I mean,
I'm just messing with David because he's actually doing really good without an outline. That's why I'm messing with him. But maybe he had this all along planned in his head and he memorized the outline.
no,
No, you're doing really well. I'm just
look,
messing with you.
yeah,
I swear I'm just messing with you.
yeah.
So you move down, got a place, everything's going good until you get the bill from me for storing the Subaru.
Oh yeah, we got to get that.
It needs to be washed. I looked at it this morning. I was like, maybe I should have pulled it out in the rain because it's been sitting in the pole barn.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And the wood-boring bees, I'm just picking, whenever. I don't know where you're going to put it yet at your place.
Well, I'm going to drive it. That's because
Oh,
the plan is, the truck takes a lot more gas.
and it's
to
not
drive
hot. So,
Yeah.
that'll work out. Because I'm like, I'm going to do him a cool favor, man. I'm going to go fill it up with gas. I'm going to run it through the car wash. Plus, it's been a long time since I drove a stick.
Mm.
Right. I know how to do it.
Heck
I
yeah.
say a stick, when I work for T-Dot, of course, Mack trucks and all that.
Mm.
But this is a little Subaru. It was going to be fun. So I call Fran. I tried to call Fran and I was like, hey, man, call Fran and tell her favorite brother-in-law is going to take her car and get it all cleaned up. And she's like, okay. So I get it and crank it up. And I'm like, oh, no, I ain't going nowhere in this. Because it was like July or August when I cranked it up and there's no air conditioning. Like they drove it down in the summertime with no air conditioning. And so Amanda's walking out as I'm walking.
Need it. You don't need it up north.
No.
It's not as necessary.
Well,
I'll say it that way.
To be fair, it had air conditioning. We realized on the way down, when we drove it down, that
It broke.
the air conditioning needed to be recharged, basically, is what it is. So
you got a leak. But anyways, Amanda's coming out of the house as I'm walking in. She's like, Fran said you can drive it. I said, have air conditioning? And she said, yeah. I said, I'm not driving it.
yeah, it gets toasty in there.
Yeah.
It was, but
there's things that are optional up north that are necessities down here.
Yeah. It gets warm during the day up there, but at night, the last time I was there during the summer, it was cool to me. How about the temperature it is here
Now,
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just joking. You don't have to get it unless you want it.
no, Fran and I were actually talking about it. That's going to be my go to and from work car, just because it's better on
Did you already
gas.
take the bike?
No, I have to figure out how to get that over. I was going to do it yesterday. This week's looking rainy and cold, and I'm not really sure I want to drive it.
Why don't we just put it on a trailer?
Because I'm going to.
Because you want to ride it?
Yeah, I'll just drive it.
I just want to drive
It's
it.
fine.
Yeah.
My leather's coming on Tuesday when the pod gets there. So
Leather.
yeah, I got my leather jacket.
Locomotive running.
Bad boy.
Anyways,
Bad boy.
yeah.
Bad boy.
All right. Well, what I had going on this week wasn't a whole lot. Just normal work. Been doing some editing on our what do I have? Mental
Episode 3.
violence, mental battles. Yeah, episode 3. I forget what we're calling it, but been doing some editing. Got something. By the time this is aired, episode 3 will already be out, and I've got something new that we're doing at the beginning and the ending. I'm kind of excited about it. We may or may not. I don't know how it's going to work out. We may get our hand slapped. We may not. I don't think we will.
So when people are hearing this, though, they'll have
already
already. So you can say it. You're not hiding anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm thinking because it's not out yet. And so we'll
reprogram your brain.
Yeah. So what I've done is we've been saying Rockasok. Did I say it right?
Mhm.
Right. Rockasok means what, David?
Be strong and courageous.
Be strong and courageous. It's an ancient Hebrew war cry. Well, on YouTube, there is a pastor who's doing a sermon on this, and everybody's used the sound bite. Well, I couldn't find the sound bite. And so what I did was I'm not going to say how I did it, but it was,
You got creative.
I got very creative in how I did it. And then I had to take it, download it to our editing software, edit it down for our intro, and then take what was left, figure out what piece I wanted to use for our outro. So the beginning and the ending of our podcast, our intro and outro, is this sermon speaking about Rock Kasap,
Mm-hmm.
Amas.
And it's like a 5-7 minute
Yeah.
video on YouTube, and it is very powerful. The whole thing. And
Yes.
yeah. So you just took 30 seconds on each.
35 seconds on one, and I think 20-ish seconds on the end.
Yeah.
And I just used some parts that kind of spoke to me, and I was hoping that you and Stanton would be okay with it, and you listened to it, and he was like, yeah, that's awesome.
That's good stuff.
So,
but yeah, so if you Google or YouTube, search it on YouTube, watch the whole video, we can probably get to where we can link it. But
yeah,
the whole 5-7 minutes is,
if I can link
it'll have you ready to run through a wall.
Yeah, if I can link it, it'll be in our YouTube video.
Yeah.
I'll link it in the description below. But if not, you can search Hebrew Ancient War Cry, and that several options of that'll come up. There's just a word version where it's just flashing the words. There's a video of David and Goliath. There's several different versions, but just listen to it.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
So I did that, and then some men from the church and I duck hunt together, and one of them ended up getting getting a piece of property in a blind on the Cache River in Arkansas. So I woke up at, what did I tell you, 3:30 yesterday morning, and got up, moved around, and I'm limiting my energy drink level. So now I'm down to one. I don't know how many ounces the smaller ones are, but so I got up and, I didn't want something hot right away. So did that anyways. I was looking over our Sunday school lesson and drank one cup of coffee, and then made another, and left the house around 5 and headed over there. And so anyways, we get in the vehicle, and it's me, Michael, and Peef, and we head out with I think it's a 16-foot trailer. It's a pretty heavy trailer. It's a trailer that he hauls his tractors on. It's got 4 wheels on it, And he's like, man, we got 2 sketchy tires on that, but I've been pulling it they weren't too bad sketchy, but they weren't straight up new either. Right. And so we head out, and all we got, really, there's no load on it. Really. We got a huge ladder, a bunch of oak branches, and I mean branches like this, because we're going to brush the blind, right? So we strike out 3 hours, and we get 12 miles, if that, from the place, and all of a sudden I hear,
no,
and I turn around and look, because I thought one of the straps had popped loose, and I get to noticing this black stuff going all over the place. And Michael said, hey, is that leaves? And he goes, oh no, that's rubber. And I was like, yeah, the tire blew, bro. So we pull over, and anyways, we thought we had a spare that would fit, and we didn't. And so we just took the tire off of that one side, and we were going to jack it up, but the way it worked, we didn't have to. Yeah, it held up. So we pimped around in Arkansas with 3 tires on a trailer. I told everybody, I was like, hey, we fit in around here,
Yeah.
So we went, and we brushed the blind, and a friend of ours, he shimmied up the trees with some gaves, and because there were some spots that we needed to cut out so that we'd have clearing for when the ducks come in. We got done with that and headed back home. And I was supposed to go to your house last night, but dude, I was dead tired, and we were going anyways. And Nathan was like, no, just. So I tried to watch TV, but I was asleep. Amanda went to go get me some food last night. She woke me up when she came back home. So she's gone 20 minutes. It didn't take long for me to pass out in the chair like an old man. But other than that, I hadn't had a lot going on this week. So last week we talked about our mental battles,
Mm-hmm.
our struggles, and we're supposed to do an AAR. So I thought we'd do it even in this unscripted version, if that's okay with you. So
Does he know what this is?
no, I'm going to explain it to
Okay.
him. So AAR is after actions report, right? And so every episode, I ask a question about how you either succeeded or failed. You don't have to say, well, this is how I succeeded and this is how I failed. You can do either or about the topic that we had the week before. So we were talking about anger and anxiety and depression. And so my question to you, two gentlemen, whoever wants to go first, is where did you succeed or fail in counteracting anxiety or your anger or depression?
Mm.
It doesn't have, you don't have to do a win and a loss. You can do either or.
Give you a little time to think about this,
Yeah,
right?
give-
And
yeah,
process this. But
You've had a week.
yeah. Well, and what's funny is though, like so far, like I don't think about, oh, we got to do the AAR next week,
I don't
so I
either.
need to be conscious of
my P's
of
and
these
Q's,
things, right? But just because we spent 2 or 3 hours on a podcast the previous week, those things are just naturally subconsciously in my mind, and so we did the one about being a man, and I think I'm kind of a man of God, a couple weeks ago, and I kind of just talked about how I failed at it that week. But this week I would say I did have some wins emotionally,
Okay.
mentally, with because I think with my job, I mean, everybody's got stresses in their jobs, right? Which triggers emotions of some kind. And so me and one of my colleagues were having a discussion about something at work, and he was very emotional about it, and could not understand why I was not as worked up as he was, right? And I was, while he was doing that, I was having to tell myself, don't get in there with him, don't get in the tent with him.
Yeah.
On this matter, just stay calm. It's, you weren't worked up to begin with, so don't let him work you up. And so I was able to maintain a sense of calmness through this. And when he realized that I wasn't jumping in with him emotionally on this, he recognized that. And then we had a conversation, and he does follow. So he knows who he is.
Yeah.
And so it went from being a heated topic of discussion to, I realize you're not getting all worked up about this, which then came back around, and we had a discussion about the podcast on emotional struggles, which hasn't been aired yet.
No.
And so I was explaining to him the episode that's about to come out and saying, just check this out, check this episode out. This what we're dealing with right now really ties into that. And he's like, oh yeah, I definitely will. And he loves our podcast, by the way. He's like, yeah, you guys are real genuine and real authentic. And he says, man, and it comes through perfectly. And he said, anyway, I'm not going to air a lot of things that he said, but it's very encouraging. Thank you to him. He was very encouraging about what we're doing. And I'm going on a tangent here, but
Well, you got time.
yeah, because there's no script. There's no outline for this. So I don't have to worry about
Yeah, when I start doing like this, that's when you need to shut it down.
Okay,
yeah. No, I'm just messing with you.
But he shared with me things that resonated with him in our podcast, and so that meant a lot to him. But the exact same thing meant a lot to me as an encouragement. Because
about what we're doing.
Yeah, about what we're doing. So anyway, that was just a little side thing.
Well, whoever you are, we appreciate your support.
Yeah.
I think I know who he is. I think we talked about him before.
Yeah, we have. So appreciate all the guys that are giving support. And It helps us. We help you, man. And that's what this whole thing is about, is iron and sharpen iron. Right.
Yeah. We got a super fan still.
We
He's super encouraging.
Yeah. Yeah.
We gave him a shout out. He'll find that out. So we're recording this the Sunday before the mental struggles come out, or mental battles, whatever I decide to. I think I've already named it. I just can't remember what it is. So he'll hear the shout out.
Yeah.
Our super fan.
Yep. Yeah.
So, baby brother.
So, as I get into this before that, kind of echoing what that guy had said, I haven't fully listened to,
Biblical manhood.
I think it was that one. I've gotten about halfway through it, but in full disclosure, I am that dude that my brother was talking about. The freight train could go through the room.
So hold on before you go any further. I said them and they, right? Yeah, I did. And Amanda hears it and she goes, "Ooh, you're going to be in trouble." I'm like, I said, when I was saying it, I was thinking about, I'm sorry.
No,
it was you. Yeah. It was you.
No, it's fine.
But I was trying to keep it real quiet, Right. And I said, he'll never figure it out. So, and we haven't discussed that until just now.
No, correct.
So,
correct.
Because I asked him last night, I said, "You listen to it?" And he said, "I listened to most of it." I'm like, cool. But I forgot about that.
Yeah, I remember. I vaguely remember. I remember the freight train comment, but I don't even know.
I didn't even tell y'all who it was.
Right? No.
I swear I didn't. I was just like,
but
go ahead. I apologize.
No, it's good. So I have, we didn't really discuss it, but I remember what led you to that was I was sitting in your house on the phone. We were visiting and I was on the phone and you were talking to me and I totally didn't hear you.
I remember now.
I was overtired. I'd worked a long week and I was I don't even know why I was on my phone. It's not important. But since that situation, I've tried to be better with my time management, my phone, especially since we've gotten the house. I don't think I really touch my phone too much unless I need it for something like setting up Wi-Fi or whatever. I spent more time with my kids, in the house and taking them outside and jumping on the trampoline, things like that. Right. So it does, watching, especially when you're being called out and nobody knows you are. It does help. Right. So
ouch.
No, it's good. I do.
It got hot in here all of a sudden.
At our next little pause moment, I'm going to lower the thermostat because I'm still cooking.
It's fine. But as far as like this week and emotions, I wouldn't say that I don't struggle with emotions because I do. I too am part of the Faith Walk community, and I had a talk about some of the struggles I've had in my life. So I did struggle with depression, right? I don't think I've ever struggled with anxiety. I don't think I get really anxious about things. I think that's one of the things that, annoys my wife, because I don't really get too upset or riled up about not having a plan for something. I've always kind of typically God's going to take care of it, right? I'm not in control. I've never been in control. When I try to take control, I really mess it up. So, I'm kind of good with that. I do have, runs in the family. I do have a bit of a temper. If anybody knows
What do you mean?
The Lucius men.
So much of what you says is just a Lucius stamp, right? It's like,
so this is going to be David in the David in the, what'd you call it? David in the
lion's den.
Yeah,
the
Lucius den.
Yeah, the Lucius den.
Yeah. So I do struggle with that.
Gaby does too, man.
He does,
Gaby's got it.
And I
Gaby's his youngest.
I got to get better at my controlling that because I need him to see better control. And I tell him all the time, my oldest, he's super bright. Samuel, he's my oldest son. Super bright, picks things up very easily, and he parrots a lot of things. And so I would tell Gabriel since he was like 2, you need to learn to master your emotions or your emotions will become your master. Right. So I'm telling him that, but then he'll see me get angry at something and like he'll see my temper come out. So I need to get better at that because, like y'all were saying, you want to portray what you want your kids to pick up, right? Like what you were saying on that episode about, train your kids up in the way that you want them to go and they'll never depart, right? So
Yep.
what you're doing on a daily basis is training them and it's teaching them. So I got to be more mindful of what I do around my kids so that they understand. I'm very loving to my wife. I try to be very loving. Fran, I hope you agree. If you see this, I try to be very loving to her in front of the boys, obviously appropriately. But they see that, how you're supposed to love on a woman and your spouse,
Yep.
and how you should treat your mother and, and things like that. So this week I would say I've been pretty decent. There's been opportunities where I could probably, you know, control my temper better. It's something that I know I've struggled with. I have to get better at that, but
I mean, our kid, when we see our kids, as you say, parroting or mirroring what we do, that's like the biggest slap in the face. That's the biggest eye opener that, oh crap, I need to watch what I do or how I act or whatever. It's so obvious. It's like you can't see it yourself, but then when you can see it
Mirrored.
in them,
Yeah,
in
it's
them,
mirrored.
right?
Yeah.
And I'll say the same thing about these podcasts. It's the same way. I mean, we're watching ourselves, listening. I've never listened or watched myself, but I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many things that I need to work on. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't realize. I thought I was a better speaker, and I know I'm just nervous. And each episode, I get a little more relaxed and calm. But like that first and second episode was just,
you were fine.
It's just, I thought it was great, and then I listened back, and I'm like, I was a bumbling idiot.
No, man. I had a lot of people
but it's
tell me
kind of
you're
the
good at
same
that.
way, right? It's like when you see your kids do the things you do, it's an eye opener. It's a wake up call to how you need to, or what you need to fix. Yeah, for sure.
No, I noticed that I burp a lot. I don't know why.
As you just burp?
Yeah, as I just burp. I thought it was the monsters, dude, but well, I mean, we did just eat too, lunch. So, matter of fact, every time we've come in here, we either ate breakfast or I'm slurping down energy drinks. So maybe we can get in here one time when, I don't have a belly full of food and I'm not burping everywhere, but,
It's part of getting old.
yeah. So
plus this is not an easy, quick process. So,
No.
I mean, it's like we need the time between meals just to do this.
Yeah.
The whole time between meals.
Yeah, just about. Yeah. So to touch back on what I didn't mean to call you out in front of the world. It was just kind of organic and I was trying to be very careful, but the reason why I mentioned it is so I'm older than you and throughout life, I haven't always taught you the right thing to do. Right. I'm an older brother is supposed to guide his younger brother in the right way. I mean, you make a face, but and you say I'm too hard on myself, but just let me get this out.
I'll let you get it out.
Okay.
But you are too hard on yourself.
Well, I showed you more wrong than I showed you right. And the older I get, like I'm way closer to 50 than you are. Even though your daughter, Michaela, is older and he's the only grandfather in here, by the way. We didn't mention that. He's got 3 grandsons.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just had to point that out.
Yeah. Why
Every
not?
chance you get.
Yeah. But, through life or whatever, you had somewhat of a opportunity with her. You got more of an opportunity with her now, but your sons, you have an everyday opportunity. And so looking back on how I did things with Shelby and, we both love our parents, right? We're just like our parents. One day we're going to have to answer hard questions just like our parents answered, right? But they probably did the best they could they did the best they could in the situations that they were in, right or wrong, whatever decision they made, they thought they were doing the best, just like us. So there was a season in your life when life was kind of chaotic. And I think that you use that. What did Stanton call it? Doom scrolling?
Doom scrolling, yeah.
Just to kind of numb yourself, right? And I think it became a habit without you realizing it. Because when I first really noticed it is when Amanda and I took you with us to Alabama. When we was on the beach, like I had your undivided attention. We all did. And then when we get to the condo, and that's fine, right? It was just you. You didn't have your boys or anything. And I kind of noticed that. And then I kind of noticed it like it was almost like an escape for you. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because in that, when you finish, you'll see that we all do that. I call myself out on video games. Have you gotten to that part?
No, yeah, I think I've gotten about halfway through the episode. So
I call myself out on video games, and you're a witness to the fact that I took a TV out of our room. So I got this huge TV that's in the room that when you and Fran would come stay the night with us is in there. And I got another TV. I don't know what I'm going to do with, because it was in that room. And so I wasn't just like pointing the finger like, hey, Nate, you know what I'm saying? I want you to know where it came from.
No, and I understand.
It was out of concern, because I was talking to you, the boys were talking to you, and I was like, dang, this dude, like a spaceship, could land in this living room right now. Like I told Amanda later that night, because we all kind of jumped on your case that night. We all three were saying something. Fran said something, I said something, Amanda said something. And you just kind of like, and you said, but you did set your phone down. And I told Amanda, I said, I believe I could have stood there right there in front of him and said, if you'll look up, I'll give you $1,000 cash. And he never would have looked up.
No,
but
I would have.
I don't know. But in fairness, he's always been that way when he's been engrossed in something. When you were younger, like how Gaby gets when he's playing a video game, you know how red his cheeks get? You remember how engrossed in video games, your cheeks would get red. And I think it was just because he's spending, and I'm not saying that it's right or wrong.
We all have an escape.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just
so all right. I'm going to jump on you though, because
well, hold on. Let me finish this before you do. Hold on.
Hold on. He can finish.
All right.
It's fine.
I'm just saying that's a good habit to have, because when we're doing stuff that he has to be drawn into, he is. It's just part of his personality. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying he focuses in on it.
Right.
That was the only I want you to do better than what I did as a dad. And that's the only reason why I said anything. It wasn't for me to point out, because I don't think you're a bad daddy. I don't think you're a bad husband. I think you're better at showing love and attention than I was, right? There was a statement a guy made, and then you can jump on me. There was a statement a guy made, said the only man in this world will ever want you to do better than him is your dad. But you got 2 men in your life that want, or 3. You have 3 men in your life that want you to do better than we did. And that's Dad, Pop, and me. Right? And so that's the only reason why. I'm not beating you up.
I know you're not beating me up.
Okay.
And you're beating yourself up because you feel like you're beating me up. And I get it. And, and the thing is here's the thing, good biblical men, should seek correction, right? We're never perfect. It's a struggle to get there, and should be open to it, right? So,
absolutely.
Y'all
coming from the right people,
correct?
Who it's coming purely out of love and not, some kind of
like, look at you, David.
Right? Yeah, self-righteous. I'm better than you, and I'm going to point out your flaws. Thing, if when done right, yeah, you're exactly right,
and you should be open to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, got called out on it, 100% correct, right? And I think you may be right that there was a part of a time in my life that I was going through that I maybe picked that up, but without getting too deep into that.
No, I wasn't going to do that.
No, that's fine. I mean, I'm open to talking about it, because I think it's, and I've told Fran this, and I'm not going to oust it right now, but
no, that's
we
another time.
We have a strong testimony, her and I do.
Yes.
That could, speak to people and could help them because of the things that we have gone through, right? And I would say that maybe I spent a little time on my phone at that point, but really at that point in time, I had no one to rely on but God, and He put me in that position on purpose, right? And I was in a season of waiting, I guess you could say, but it was also I was running from Him for a long time. I talked about it in my talk, and very much I identify with the prodigal son, because that's me, and me with my earthly father and me with my heavenly father, right? Like I've personified that prodigal son through different points in my life, and so I identify with it, pretty closely. So he got me alone for those years. It was years that he had me alone, and I had no one to depend on but him. And he was like, I have you here, and you're finally going to listen to me. And I was like, okay. So, and, I took that time with him, okay, you got me here. I understand. What is it that you're trying to tell me? Like, where do I need to work? What do I need to work on? Where do I need to be? And I'm not perfect. I feel like I've come a long way from where I was. Hopefully Fran also agrees. I mean, she married me, so I think she probably agrees a bit. But and I'm not stupid. I know I need to grow more and be better. But
Well, we all do. Speaking of which, so go ahead, get on to me.
Yeah,
I probably need it.
No, and you brought it up, but so you being brothers, I know you guys talk a lot and spend a lot of time together, and so you're able to see things because of how close you guys are, right? So you mentioned your games, like everybody has an escape and so I know you well enough to know when you're on your games, and if I call you or text you, and he'll answer. That's the stupidest thing. It's like he'll answer, and I clearly know he's disconnected from me. Like, and there's no real conversation going on because I'm not stopping gaming, but I'm going to I'm going to be on the phone with you. And I'm just
I communicate.
I'm like, yeah, but I'm like, call me back, man. Just call me back later. You're game. I don't say you're gaming, but I know you're gaming, and I'm like,
I've gotten better at it though.
oh yeah.
I mean,
but what I'm saying
recently,
is we all
you did call me the other night, and my kids bought me that Battlefield 6, right? And
it's just like, yeah.
And he called me, and the reason why I answer is, I mean, what if you straight up needed something?
Right.
I mean, there has been times where you've really needed something, and I'm like, hold on, let me turn this off, blah, blah. But if we're just chit-chatting, like I can chit-chat somewhat.
It's a question answer. Like, yeah, no.
Well, see,
I'll call you later.
He'll know because
he does the same thing
play
too.
Video games.
Well, usually it's you two playing against each other. I'm like,
so like if
whatever.
I'm playing a game, he calls me. He knows right away I'm on a game because I give that same.
Yeah, so I'll call you later.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at you because I understand the frustration because I'm like but when I call them, I'm like needing something. Not that you don't, right?
Yeah, right.
And so
you never know.
I apologize.
You do never know.
But that's why I answer.
Right.
So my wife's going to kill me for this. Say if they need to call somebody, I'm the one they call because of what you just said. Even though you say it's stupid, you call me unless I'm actually standing there. Like you've called me sometimes and I've been there with Ford executives or in school doing school suspension. Inspections. Yeah. I've never had in-school suspension, but I've been suspended from school. Inspections, I won't answer the phone, but I'll try to call right back. But 95% of the time, if you call me, I'm answering the phone.
That's right. Yeah.
And because not a lot of people call me, I mean, a handful of people, you, Stanton, Nathan, Peef will call me, Michael, Me and Michael mostly text. If Michael calls me, I'm definitely answering because
That's unusual.
Yeah, unusual. Right. We usually communicate through text because it's just easier, and he's a busy man. It's normally when I'm in a busy time of the day. If Dad calls, I'm answering. If our mother calls, right? Because she don't call anybody.
No, she never calls anybody.
No,
never.
No. So if I look down and it says Mama, I'm answering it.
Yeah.
Right. Or if it says Pop, because Pop texts most of the time.
Yeah.
So there's certain people, if I see the number, I don't care what I'm doing. I'm answering the phone right then and there. Nana was one of them. It didn't matter what I was doing. If Nana called, I was answering the phone.
Mm-hmm.
That's just something about me. And then when I realize it's not an emergency, not that you don't deserve my time, and so that's bad on my part that I don't just stop what I'm doing because you're calling me for a purpose. I mean, you really are. Let's be honest.
Right. Even if it's trivial.
Well, here's the thing.
A purpose doesn't have to be.
Well, you're not calling. Most of the time you're calling me to tell me these new neat tricks you want me to try out on the podcast or what do you think about this? Or I think we ought to do this or whatever.
Bouncing ideas.
Yeah. And I should have enough respect to stop what I'm doing and listen.
Yeah.
So you're correct.
See,
I took that correction.
I know, and I feel like I've got to fess up to some like kind of escape that I've got, right? But I mean, if I have to say one, it's probably my phone, right? You know, I mean, I think that's just a natural place to escape and just say, you know what, I ain't dealing with all this right now. I'm just gonna doom scroll. You know, I'm not sitting here going, hey, this is all you guys and not me. I just don't have.
The video game habit?
I definitely don't have the video game habit. That's not something I struggle with.
You don't know what you're missing.
Huh? Yeah, I guess. I tried with my son. I was like, this is the way I need to connect with my boys is to play.
You did Fortnite, right?
Yeah, it was, I don't even know. Fortnite was one of them, but I mean, there was other ones. Shooter type games. What are some of the ones you?
Call of Duty. Yeah,
that was one.
We're not going to get in trouble for mentioning these names on here, are you?
Maybe one of these days, but not now. But like, one of those. I grew up Atari and Nintendo.
I got a Nintendo Switch.
I'm just saying. There's like 3 buttons.
Oh,
and that was it.
You can't handle the multi-button.
I can't handle.
You wouldn't like his controller, dude. It's got stuff all over.
Oh, I know. And so like I was like, all right, JT, teach me how to play Call of Duty. He was like so excited about it. We sat down in front of the TV and, you know, and he's, you know, doing all, I mean, just, I can't, it's making my head spin. He's moving around so fast and doing all this. And I'm like,
pointing at the sky,
you know, just, I'm like, and so after like 5 minutes, he's like, Dad, it's okay. You don't have to do this, you know, because I clearly don't know how to work all the buttons and do all the figuring out. And he doesn't have the patience for me to do that. He just wants to play and go and shoot. And he's won a whole section of the game before I've moved 100 yards, you know? So anyway, I gave it up and I'm clearly missing out, but I'm too old. This old dog doesn't learn new tricks. So
I don't think we can get in trouble for mentioning them. But anyways, I may add
beg for forgiveness.
Yeah.
I mean, it's free advertisement for them.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not anyways.
Yeah. We're not slandering them.
Yeah.
No, we're not going to at all. So,
all right, I'm going to go lower the temperature. I'm cooking over here. So y'all just feel free to talk amongst yourselves.
All right. So when David gets back, we're going to dive into some more. But again, I wasn't trying to, you know, shed a bad light on you.
It's good, man. Like,
I think it's funny.
As soon as you mentioned it, I knew exactly who you were talking
about me, JP.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I feel attacked.
No,
I'm triggered.
No, it's good. I mean, like I said, everybody needs that point of, you know, correction. I mean, if you're not striving to get better, and be better.
Golly, that floor is creaking.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to.
No, it's just, you know, constantly we're to strive to be Christ-like, right? So,
Yeah, it's a process.
right. And, we're all in that process, and some of us are just at different stages or different points of the process, right? So,
Mhm.
it's good. I don't ever take offense. At my job, I require feedback. I tell my boss, I'm a people leader. And so I report to a manager and I seek that feedback. How am I doing? What do I need to do better? Right. Because I need that feedback. Because if you don't give me feedback, I'm just going to keep going the way I'm going. Right. Because I don't have feedback. I don't think I'm doing anything that needs to be corrected. We're going to just keep traveling that road. So, it's good to get that feedback.
Mhm.
Correction's a good thing.
So you're worried, aren't you? So this is we say 4th episode, but really we've recorded 5. The pilot
Mhm.
and 3 others, and now this one. Through this process, just curious what your train of thought is about it. Do you just your train
on the podcast as a whole,
just the whole
our journey.
our
so
journey. Even when we come in here start to finish, because there's a lot that the viewers don't see, right? You got to set up lights, this and that and the other. One time we recorded an episode and forgot to put these mics on it, and it's already out, so I had to edit it because we're using our phone. I'm just going to be transparent. We're using a phone, David's phone, to record, and so the phone was recording the sound
and not the mics.
and not the mic,
Yeah.
and so the sound was bouncing off of everything.
Was that episode 1? Was that New Creation?
That was New Creation.
Yeah, so that was our first one here in the studio. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, yeah, so this is, what did we just say, 4?
4, but really 5.
The 5th one, and just the and I hope you guys can see it, the evolution, the fine tuning, the refining that this is has been so far, from episode 1, which was in a bunkhouse in sitting on some 1970s couches,
recording
using our
laptop camera,
front facing camera on the laptop, to definitely getting better and more comfortable doing it. We definitely have different personalities, which we've been friends for a long time, so it's not anything we didn't know about, but to put our personalities together in a
melting pot.
Yeah, to where we have a common goal, which we've been in that situation before. But I have conversations with my wife about it. I'm like, JP is such a free spirit. I'm such an organized, structured guy. And I said, man, putting us together on a podcast that, in my opinion, needs to go this way, in his opinion, it needs to go that way. And I said, I said this just this morning to Amy. I said, God is given me opportunities to practice patience and grace and mercy, and I don't know what he's teaching JP about putting me in his life with this, but I said, this is a definite process, not a strain on us at all, because we truly know where each of us are in our headspace. But it's been fun.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
And I just have to get out of my element and just know there's a million ways to do the same thing. And so far it's worked out great. I did tell my wife, I do feel like I'm rubbing off on him a little bit, because I don't know if you saw, he had some notes.
No, it hasn't aired yet.
Oh yeah, well, it hasn't. So I'm talking to you as if it hasn't aired, but to them it has. So we've rotated, right? So I've done one, Stanton's done one, and then JP's done the last one, which is about to air. and he made a structured outline of talking points, and I was like, when? I was like, so I'm loosening up. I'm allowing a little more flexibility in things, and now you might have done it just for my sake, but you did put an outline together.
I did. So I'm gonna answer the same question. So through this process, we've learned one time we didn't plug these mics up or mute that mic. Hopefully this video quality will be good because we forgot our hotspot, but we learned that the internet that we're using, and we're not going to say where we are, but where we are, that people have been very gracious to us and allowed us to use the space. And, but because we're so far away from the Wi-Fi, it drops in and out sometimes. And so some of those videos where you see us freeze, I could have edited that out, but we were still talking. It was just a picture freezing. So I didn't. One, to just show how raw and real we are, right? Two, we were still talking, and we were, it was important parts of the conversation. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But we went from not having any lights to David getting lights, and it really worked because someone commented on the shadows of her face from wearing ball caps. They said, hey, you shouldn't wear a ball cap. I'm bald headed, right? I don't have David Nuckolls hair. so I'm going to put a ball cap on.
Yeah. I mean,
Come on.
Like every episode you got to mention that.
I know. It's jealousy. It's jealousy, bro. Hey,
today
on a daily basis, I say something about your hair.
Yes, you do. Thank you.
So, but
you're not the only one either.
No, I got a lot of people involved in this.
Yeah.
It's been a methodical process on my behalf. But yes, you have been a good influence on me. I did do an outline. It was a little too structured for me, but I'm going to continue doing outline, but probably not as detailed as that one, because that one was pretty detailed.
Yeah.
And yes, I did do it because we agreed during topic episodes we need some talking points, and so
they're the guardrails at a bowling lane is what this is, to keep our conversation going in the right direction and not going off into the gutters. It's just some guardrails to keep us on point, because we can
chase rabbits.
We can chase rabbits, and something you might say can get me sparked on something, and then that might get Stanton started on something, and before long, who knows where we are or how we even get back to where we were originally talking. So that
I want us to get comfortable enough in the talking points that if it does spark, and it sparks, that we can eventually get back to the point.
Right.
So
yeah,
I see the value in having talking points.
Does my heart some good.
I hope you see the value in just being us.
I do.
Not everything has to, talking points is fine, but it doesn't, in our talking points, what people don't realize, dude, it tells how many minutes it's going to talk. I use the same template that you and Stanton did. And I'm like, there's no way I'm talking about this for just 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. But I use the same template. I want you to be comfortable enough to say, hey, this is structured just enough, but not enough that it puts us in a box.
Right.
And I don't feel like we've been put in a box. So I do know that you get aggravated at me. I can tell in your tone. And I'm sure you've caught it in my tone. I've gotten aggravated at you. Right. But it doesn't change what you are or who you are in my life.
Right.
I think God is chiseling and whittling away at things at you and me and Stanton. He has a totally different personality than the both of us. And so I'm learning some things, and he's not here to rebuttal any of this. So I'm not going to,
or defend himself.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So I'm not going to say anything about what I am learning, and hopefully, he's gaining from us, but it is a process, and I've really enjoyed it. One of the things I really enjoy is the editing process. They keep asking me to show them, and I really don't want to show them because I'm enjoying it so much.
Yeah. Yeah. You love it so much, you're not going to share it with the rest of us. but yeah, you have really taken that on. You and I, when we first started talking about the idea of this podcast, you know, we were like, yeah, we can do, we're good at bumping our gums, but you know, who's gonna take on the, the technical part of this, you know? And so, but you have really like just totally embraced it, and props to you. I mean, you've done well at it.
Well, the reason why is originally I thought, well, Stanton's younger than us. He is very tech savvy. But then I felt bad because Stanton works a pretty demanding job.
Yep.
Stanton has 2 young children.
Young.
Yes. He and his wife have been married for a little while, but not as long as you've been married or as long as I've been married. And so I felt like it might take some time away from him. Now I need to be mindful about it because this has become my new gaming addiction, if you will. I have to be very mindful about when I do it. Because Amanda's like, are you going to come in here and spend some time with me, or are you going to go edit? And I'm like, I'm going to go in there with you and spend some time with you.
Yeah.
You know, I try to do it when she's not at home or during lunch. I'll carry, we have a laptop for this process, and I'll take it and tinker with it at lunch a little bit, or while she's still working, I'll tinker with it after, I get off. And so, but I have really enjoyed it. I'm learning a lot of things, just clicking and.
But what you said about Stanton, though, we've said that about all of us, and I think that's why we've kind of started this rotation of, you know, I mean, if you wanted to do an episode on a specific topic, if God was telling you to do a topic, well, it's only fitting that you host it, right? Because, right. So you would kind of take control of that episode. So that's what we're all doing. All 3 of us have ideas for an episode. And so if it's my idea, well then, and so that we began this process of saying, well, we'll just rotate each one. And when it's my turn, we'll talk about whatever's on my heart. And so in doing that, it takes all the burden off of any of us and spreads it out. And so then we said, well, wait a minute. If it's my episode or his episode, then it's only fitting that he does the editing for his episode. Why should somebody else edit my episode that I'm hosting that I wanted to talk about? But he's loving it so much. He's like, oh, I'll do this one. I'll do the next one too. And I'll get around to teaching you how to do this. And then he's texting us going, man, you won't believe what I figured out how to do. And I'm like, well, maybe one of these days I will.
Well, I mean, you travel a lot.
Yeah.
And so I'm not saying that you couldn't do it in a hotel room somewhere after you get done visiting customers or taking care of their needs in your business trips. It's just fun for me.
Yeah.
It really is. And I thought, well, this is going to sound bad, but it'd be time consuming for me to show you how to do it when I could just go in there and click, boom, 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 boom.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but I don't post anything. I don't publish anything until you and Stanton see the final product.
Mm-hmm.
I always get their go ahead. I get feedback, mostly from David. Stanton just, what? No, because Stanton's just, hey, it looks good to me. Looks good to me. I'm serious. Like Stanton, I could make us look like cartoon characters. I think Stanton would be okay with it.
Yeah, right.
He's just real agreeable. You say, yeah, all I do is critique. I'll send him something, super excited about it, and then he'll tell me what I need to fix. He feels bad about it, but I go in there and fix it. Like, because I'm sitting there playing with it, right? And then I get it to a certain point. Now, I'm looking at it through rose-colored glasses at this point. So that's why I send it to him. But I don't post anything like this. Somehow we'll figure out a way.
Stanton and I are good cop, bad cop. He's like, Stanton's like, hey, it's great. And then I go, yeah, except for this.
But that's fine because, like
Yeah,
I was saying earlier, you need that feedback,
Yeah.
right? So, like, he's sending it out for feedback. It's good to get that feedback because if you just walk through life and everybody's like giving you high fives and thumbs up and you're failing miserably at something,
Right.
like when you finally fall on your face, you're gonna be like, "Why didn't anybody tell me?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Why didn't somebody tell me I had my shoe untied?
right. So,
But I've really enjoyed it. I've been super excited about having you on this week. When I finally got a hold of you, because we were trying to discuss whether or not we're going to have a guest, and we went through some lists, and David's just like, it's just natural to have your little brother on here, and I'm like, I agree, and so I'm glad you joined us.
And now it's a must that David Lucius joins us for another
Lord.
episode.
Are we ready for that?
I mean, that'll be a good one.
Yeah. So I mean, we got to get all the Lucius men.
Our wives are upset at us because David threw out, we'll have our wives. And I'm going to be completely transparent. I texted in the group and said, I don't know if we're ready for that yet. True story.
True story.
I mean, even at lunch, man, is like, oh, I got my notes. I'm ready to go. I'm going to be over here muting her mic on the soundboard.
Well, what you do is you just, you guys just give them the seats, right? Let them have the episode.
No.
Why not?
No. So David and Amy are going to be sitting there, Taylor and Stanton there, and me and Amanda here. And it'll probably be one of our impromptu or no script, whatever we're going to call these.
Mm-hmm.
Because what's going to happen, it's going to be kind of a topic anyways, is the episode right before that. And we may have a guest. We're going to talk about how we benefit from having that correction in our life, right? How we benefit from it. And then we're going to have our wives come in and talk about how they benefit from us having each other in our lives, other men in our lives that correct us, not correct us like a child.
From our spouse's point of view.
Yeah, not correct us like a child, but kind of like the phone thing or kind of like the timeline thing. But whatever, there are times that David or Stanton or Michael or Brian, they tell me I'm messing up.
Mm-hmm.
And I've told David that he's messing up one time. The one and only time he wanted to punch me in the nose. I knew he wanted to punch me in the nose because it's written all over his face, dude. And he's still not denied the fact that he wanted to punch me in the face. And we're going on some years now. Like he should feel
that was
comfortable.
early in our friendship.
Yeah.
So I wasn't prepared for it at that moment.
But there was we were 3 years in it.
Yeah. But it was, yeah.
You took it very well, but your face said otherwise. And I told him in that conversation, I know you want to punch me in the face. And he never said, no, I don't. Anyways.
But I'm like, I know what you're talking about though. Because I'm curious as well, like, what does our wives see out of us because of our relationships with the men in our lives who have held us accountable and sharpened us, and what their vision of what we would be without our friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean,
I can say all day long how thankful I am for you guys, but I want to hear it.
Because they
from
ultimately benefit from it. Either they benefit from it or they suffer from it.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you that Amanda said originally why we ended up at Dixie Hills wasn't because she wanted to be at Dixie Hills. She saw, we all have mentioned this. You said we may or may not talk about it a lot, but that's how I met the majority of y'all. Like I knew you or either got reconnected or met the men at Dixie Hills was through Faith Walk. And she saw the potential and what was going on. Because when the first time we came to Dixie Hills, I mean, you pulled me aside and said, hey, you can either go to this men's class or this men's class. It was a Sunday night after we started going. And we were doing a Tony Evans thing, Kingdom Man, in one. And you were doing something and you were teaching a DT class. And you were like, we're doing this in ours, but Brother Jimmy's doing this one.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love for you to be with us, but I really, because you had already done it, I really think you ought to go in there. And so Amanda recognized these men starting to, and the potential of them pouring into me. And she said that was important. And that's honestly how we ended up at Dixie Hills.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm curious, because I'm a knucklehead. Someone suggested I did something with that, and I'll say it off the air, not on the air, because I think it's a really good idea. But I'm very rough around the edges. You even said that I got to have a polished version of me out in the public sometimes, because I'm JP 24/7, and that could be a good thing or that could be a bad thing, right? But either way, I'm me.
You can still be JP. You just
Polish
the edges a little.
I mean, either way, I'm true to myself. Like I don't try to act like anything else but myself.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that can be very off-putting, right? So I get what you're saying, but I would be kind of curious to see what Amy has to say about either A, am I being a good influence in David's life, or B, I'm being a bad influence in David's life, right?
Yeah.
So I am curious. I hope my feelings don't get hurt, but they may. You know,
she's getting bold, man. I'm telling you,
she's getting bold, but that's because she's hanging out with some other folks.
She's got to.
Yeah. So
yeah, it'll be interesting. But we weren't ready for that yet.
No, I wouldn't.
No. We got to think and do a lot of praying.
Yeah. Hopefully, my wife gets real tired before we bring her in here. No, I'm just playing. I love you, babe. Because she listens to every episode. I'll hear her back there in the office, and then she said now, because she's gonna be traveling back and forth to work, she'll have an opportunity. You've watched the pilot,
first episode, and about halfway through the second.
So what do you think about he's an outsider?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really, but you're a viewer. How about
Outsider.
that?
Yeah,
that dude kind of, I'm just saying.
No, it's good. I get
you're on the outside looking in, is what I meant.
Yeah.
So what do you think about it up to this point? I mean, can you see the evolution of us hiding in the woods?
I mean, the pilot episode was great. It was funny, and I was actually showed up, I think the day after y'all had done it.
No, the day of.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The morning of, after you got a nap in.
Yes.
Yeah,
because we finished the pilot at 12 something midnight.
Yeah, so we started Saturday night, or no, we did it Friday. So yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're correct.
Yeah, you started Friday night, and then I showed up Saturday.
Yeah,
and
we ended Saturday morning.
So I think they're great. And I'll echo what the guy said. It seems genuine and natural. That's why when you're saying, I watch and you were like, oh, I'm bumbling through this. It's not bumbling through it. It's comes through as being genuine, like real. You're not overly polished. You're not like some of these podcasts where everything goes perfectly straight, and it just seems like, not genuine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I think they're great. You guys talk about a lot of good things. Obviously I've taken a few of those points.
My brother called me out nationally.
So yeah, I mean, and you can see kind of it evolving, you getting more comfortable, you catching on the flow a little better. So, it's just natural for you to start feeling more comfortable the more you do something. So that's good. Keep going with what you're doing. Hopefully I don't throw a wrench into that.
No, you're not. Guest, no. And you'll be a guest again.
Yeah. But, even you said, you shared with us what you got out of those episodes. And I've had conversations with some guys who have told me what they've got out of it. And that to me is the exact purpose of it. It's not like for us to have some kind of script that you follow, checkpoint. It's to spark thoughts in your own head and of how what we're talking about applies to you, that you pulled out of it in your own way. This one guy, he just said, he told me how he is missing, like, the biggest thing he got out of this one episode. Heck, it was our pilot episode, which I didn't know if anybody'd get anything out of that, right? It was just funny. It was fun, right? But he got out of it that he's missing that brotherhood, that, that he's like, I don't have anybody. He said, he called it, he said, I live in a vacuum. Where he says it's me and my family and work, and he said, so I don't have a Christian friend to do what you guys are doing, and I miss that, right? And I'm like, you got that out of the pilot, and but I know we talked about it, but it's just fun to hear how people are taking stuff and it's actually helping them.
Well, one of the guys said something to me that what spoke through it a lot, especially the pilot and then some of the other episodes, is that you could tell we actually have a friendship or a relationship, and what's crazy about it is they just don't know how much. Like today, Stanton is working. We were at church. I showed you the video of Maggie, his oldest, during praise and worship. She's dancing. And then I tried to get one of her. And I only sent it to him and his wife, Taylor. And if I could have got one, she had her eyes closed and she had her hand up during one of those songs. And she was just.
And she's 3?
3.
Yeah. It's great.
Like she hugs me and kisses me. You've heard her, right? My P. Like I walked up on the porch this morning. She goes, "Hey, my P." This is not something that 3 random dudes is like, hey, let's pretend we're invested in each other's lives. Like we're actually going through life together. Like I text Stanton, him and I are talking about tires. So let me back up. A couple of episodes ago, they're like, JP, what's new in your life? Right? You knew where I was going with this, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I'm like, nothing, that's not this point. So
I said, we can pick and choose.
Yeah, we can pick and choose what we talk about. So what they were talking about is, I had an older pickup. It was a older Tundra, and it was getting some miles on it. I hardly ever drive it. I've been looking at maybe getting not a new one, but a newer one. I have a friend, you know him, we all know him. He works at one of our local Toyota places. I say local, one not too far from here. And just for giggles, I was like, hey, man, well, you were over at the house. They had a blue one. I really wanted that blue one. It's Florida blue. I was going to change the 4-wheel drive. I was going to change the 4-wheel drive to orange. So it'd be orange and blue. Yeah. I was going to do the Tundra in orange. I was going to gator it up. I'm not going to lie. Well, y'all were sitting at the house. Because we asked y'all to come stay with us one Friday night, and y'all stayed Friday and Saturday.
I think that was the doom scroll incident, maybe.
Yeah, it was. That was the time. But anyways, well, they didn't have it. And so I was like, okay, whatever. And I really didn't think much of it. I saw another one. I'm like, it's red. And in the picture, it looked like fire engine red, right? And that's okay if you got a fire engine red vehicle, each his own, right?
Yeah.
I think black vehicles are sharp. My wife has one, but man, they're hard to keep clean. Yada, yada. Amanda loves them. I'm not, they're sharp. I wouldn't own one. I guess I kind of do own one because she owns one, but you understand what I'm saying. So anyways, to my point, I get a text message. What about this one? It's the red one. And I noticed they dropped the price on it. We do some conversating. I get a price that I can't turn down. So then we get to talking turkey about what they'll give me for my 2010. All right. It's got hail damage.
Mhm.
You know, the interior was super clean. All right. It was just the outside needed some little TLC. And I hadn't washed it in a minute. Right. So
Well,
I
you
take
drive it like on Saturdays.
Yeah. Unless I went fishing or something during the week.
Yeah, yeah.
Taking the garbage out.
It's not a daily driver.
No, it's not a
for
daily
you.
driver. Because I have a company vehicle. It's not like I got a fleet of vehicles or anything. I have a company vehicle, and that's why.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, they tell me what they're going to give me for my truck. I drive down there just to test drive it and absolutely fall in love with this thing. So I come home with it. I drive by his house. So I stopped by Dad's and I said, hey, come outside. I need your opinion on something. He walks outside. He's like, man, that's pretty nice. You know, so at 58, I'm fixing to be 59 or not 58, 48. Good Lord. I done had 10 years. The camera has 10 years, y'all.
And 10 pounds.
Yeah. At 48, I was acting like a teenager, right? When it come to Dad and in the truck and everything. And then, so I called David. I'm like, hey, are you up? Because he'd been out of town or something, hadn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you're like, yeah. So you got clothes on? He's like, well, I got some clothes on. What he meant was he had his sweatpants on, flippy floppies, and a T-shirt.
That's right. Yeah.
He wasn't dressed to kill.
I was feet up in my recliner.
Yeah, he wasn't dressed to kill. He was dressed to chill.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I need to stop by. I need to get your opinion. Him and Amy were like, what's going on? Why JP? Anyways, it was the truck, but I hadn't said anything to Stanton. So we pull up here at 6 o'clock in the morning or whatever it was, 7.
Yeah.
To record, and Stanton's like, oh, you know, and then I, you know, get that, oh, you can't hide money kind of thing, you know, whatever. So that's what that was about,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I don't remember where I was going with that, but
Well, you were talking about tires.
Yeah.
oh yeah. So yeah. So Stanton, he and I have been talking about tires for it, right? So my point to all that was we do life together. You and I try to talk as much as we can. I mean, you're my little brother, but you work nights or whatever. I try to at least get you on the phone one day during the week. And of course, I see you on Sundays. I see your wife and sons on Wednesdays. Like when we had fall break and we didn't have church, we invited them over, you know, just to kind of keep that presence, if you will. You and I talk almost daily.
Mm-hmm.
We used to talk every day at the same time.
Yeah.
But you travel.
Our schedules have gotten disrupted.
When he's in town, I know from about 7:45 to 8 o'clock, he's going to get, you know, the phone's going to ring or whatever. So we actually do life. And that's something that they said you could see through this process of us doing this podcast, that we're actually friends. You know, we go through life together.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I mean, men, we put men into this lump as like we're loners, you know, like we're isolated, like there's no such thing as like real friendships, or I don't know what it is, but like all in all, I think men have this label of being loners. And so I hope this is, because it is hard to find friends that you can truly trust and confide in and truly receive criticism in a healthy way, give and receive in a healthy way. It's not easy, but it is possible. But in my opinion, and I'm so excited that you're now in Tennessee, going to our church, like everything's in place, you know, for that to happen. For you to be in New Hampshire, you know, I mean, even it's even a struggle within our church when somebody goes to a different Sunday school class. You know, it's just the more you can, which we don't.
We do. No, I teach, you teach.
Yeah, but when
Stan
a
teaches.
lot of relationships inside church are because, you know, we're in the same Sunday school class, and so when that common denominator gets removed, it's easy for that friendship to start waning and dissolving, just because naturally that was your one common point of location, and so, but the more variables you can add to that, I mean, you guys are brothers. You're finally living here. You're in church with us. All that's going to do is create a tighter bond. So for anybody who's living on an island, not going to church, who wants this, if I could give any advice, the first thing to do is
Get plugged in
somewhere, right? And you're not going to do it, and this is just my opinion, you're not going to do it by attending the big church worship service alone, only, and then going home, right? You got to get into the smaller group, the Sunday school class, we call them connects or whatever. And that's where you start developing friendships, and then from there, you find out who you have common interests in, and then you start doing things outside of church. And that just all those different layers start solidifying those bonds even more. So when you see us, we do those things. We go to church together. Maybe not Sunday school, but we live life together. And so it's not just a Sunday thing or a Wednesday thing. So anyway, I'm just saying it's possible, and I hope we're an example of that.
Yeah. Well, to kind of piggyback on what you're saying is, yeah, we do go to church together. We also serve in ministries outside the church together, right? And then we're doing life together. You and I, once a year, it's kind of a running joke with my wife. In December, he and I are going to go hunting together on his farm. It's happened for the last 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's the date is
almost similar.
Yeah. I mean,
it's around the same time of year.
Yeah.
And it's just something fun we do. And I don't ever say, hey, it's that time. It just seems to be like last year he called me. I was on my way to work. He's like, hey, you want to do it today? You want to go out here? And it was like within a day or 2 or 3 around that specific date. I'm like, heck yeah, I do. Let me
pull some strings.
Let me call my boss here. And I was like, hey, I need to take off this afternoon.
I'm not feeling too well.
No, I mean, I was transparent with the dude. I was like, hey man, I'm going to go sit in a deer stand. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Actually my boss at my supervisor, he was on maternity leave because his wife had their youngest.
Mm-hmm.
And so who stood in his place when he's off, I called him. I'm like, hey dude, this is what's going on. He's like, yeah, that's fine. I mean, it was a time of year where I didn't have a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
I was caught up on my schools. He's like, and even
the weather was perfect.
It was perfect.
He's like, the day's the day.
Even my boss now, if everything's taken care of and I need time off, he's not going to say no.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I believe I could call him and be like, hey, I'm going to do this couple hours and then I'm going to take off. And he'd been like, yeah.
Yep.
But I was completely transparent.
Yep.
And sure enough, we was out there. So, we do that. I think, though, we also benefit from the fact that we all three are in different Connect classes for this. There's men in that class that pour into you and you pour into as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's men in my class that pour into me and a couple of them pour into you from my class.
Yep.
Stanton, he's pouring into our younger men and women, young ladies and young men.
College and career.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it's called.
And I think he can benefit from friends. He can learn from them as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it benefits us, so we do life together and we serve together. I want to add to that. You said get plugged in. Hopefully your church has a men's ministry.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Jimbo's going to do something really cool with this. What I mean by cool with this is he's very intentional. Not to say that any of the past guys that weren't, but a couple of them are really busy guys.
Mm-hmm.
And not to say that Jimbo's not busy, but he's in a different stage of life than some of these other men were. Get plugged into a men's group, because that's where you're going to find the men that you have something in common with, right? You and I have a lot in common. We go once a year around the same time. Me, Michael, and Pete, we go duck hunting together, right? There's men in your class that y'all spend time at the river together, through whether Connect class or whatever. There's another gentleman that has been building his river house, right? And that relationship is strengthened through that, I feel like.
Yep.
And he's a great guy, and we may have him on.
Oh, absolutely.
As a guest.
Yeah.
Y'all better you're going to bust at the seams when this guy comes on, because he's hilarious. But
we all have different circles.
Yeah.
And
they kind of overlap too, which is crazy.
Yep.
So I have a small circle, you have a small circle, but our circles overlap.
Yep. And we are respectful of those,
right?
To where it's not. There's no jealousy. There's no jealousy in that, right? And I mean, because we're tight, and I know that, and we're good, and within Christ, we all know that ultimately it's a ministry. It's bigger than just friendships, right? And it's ironing sharpening iron every which way around, and the more angles we can all get that, the more we should appreciate it.
Yeah. And you and I've talked. I think part of the reason why you and Fran wanted to move down here, not that you didn't have good Christian people up there, because you did. I met your old pastor,
Brother Kenny.
There was another couple that I met that were real supportive to you and Fran. And, but it was different. I mean, you and Kenny even talked about how it was different. And I don't know why it's different. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but that was part of the reason. They wanted a sense of community, if you will. That's part of the reason, right?
I mean, yeah. And we had a community up there. But sometimes God just calls you to where he calls you to, and you just have to listen, and for me, the confirmation of that calling was him completely paving the way. I mean, you look back, if you'd have told me a year ago that I'd be sitting here talking to you guys, and full disclosure, like me and my wife we just got married in May. If you'd have told me a year ago, in October, that Fran and I would be married, living in Tennessee, on a nice piece of property, I'd have called you a liar.
Yeah, because it's October right now, right?
October.
So when this airs, it'll be November. But even when this airs, y'all still weren't.
Yeah, you can. We were still not together. We had a few years of separation, which is, I alluded to earlier about the 3 years of God kind of getting me alone and working on me, because he needed to work on me.
But I mean, it was December when y'all came down together.
Yeah, we came down for Christmas.
Yeah.
So
and then from that point on, so it was like a wildfire.
Yeah, it was. We reconciled in December around Christmas. It was all God's timing. It was something that I prayed for a long time. So
yeah,
I'll try not to get emotional, but it's something that I prayed for a long time. There was a lot of work that I did. That God did on me. There was things that he was pointing out to me that I needed to work on, and things that, I needed to make apologies for and take ownership of, and y'all talked about, when did you know that you were a man, right? Well, for me, it was in that 3-year period when God was showing me things and talking to me and me fully understanding the weight and the gravity of, you know, not just my actions and things that I'd done or said, but who I was,
Mm.
and where I was with my walk with him and how that impacted everybody, you know, around me, my children, my spouse at the time who I had unfortunately, I guess you could say I ran her off pretty much. So, I had to I had to take ownership of that, and fully own things and make amends or try to make amends for that, so I spent the time with him and put in the work, and he put the work in on me, right? Just chiseling away at me and taking away all those false thoughts that I had of myself and really kind of breaking me down.
But in that process, he placed like you helped us serve in Faith Walk when they asked me to do something,
Yeah.
right? It was important for me for Nathan to be there, and we had to move some things around or whatever, ask for permission, but it worked out. So in that process, like God was placing men in your life, because this has been 2 years ago. So you were a year into this,
Correct.
right? So God was placing men into your life who would call and check on you, and Jimbo's one of them,
Mm-hmm.
right?
David, Michael.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And, people, Peef,
Yeah.
I mean, you met,
Chris Richardson.
Chris Richardson.
Yeah.
And so these men are checking on you and praying for you, individually and collectively. We were praying for you and Fran. And I mean, look what's happened. I brought that up, not so that and it's okay for you to get emotional, but not to break a brother down and on
No,
the
it's
camera.
good.
The reason why I brought that up is December. And our Connect class, which you and Fran are in, we started praying, dude. Like, I was like, look, there's a possibility this is going to go down. So we need to start praying. So unbeknownst to you and her, now the whole world knows, we were praying for y'all. And then when that looked like that was going to happen and y'all were talking about moving, and you and I had multiple conversations about it as well. We were praying. And then, hey, we need to pray for a job. And we need to pray for this. And then it was like, hey, we're going to jump in our vehicles, and I'm going to pull a camper that I've never pulled before. And he got all the way here without them turning into something. He got a little hiccup, but that was your spotter's fault.
That was when we were here.
Yeah, right.
Made 1,300 miles.
Yeah.
No problem.
The last 5
Going
seconds.
to park it.
Put it in park, everything falls. No.
No. He got a little piece of the trim. Like the last 5 seconds of the whole trip, and it was your spotter's fault. And he even said it was. So I'm not going to call his name out, but he drives a red Chevrolet pickup truck. And we talked about how fast he drove. He even said it was his fault, but us praying, now y'all are here going to church, right? And hey, you need a job. Boom, you get a job. Hey, we need a house, which we've been praying all along for. Boom, you get a house. And it's everything that your wife wanted. And what's crazy is she called him out in Sunday school or in Connect today.
Yeah.
We were talking about it, and I said, well, I just want to shout out praise to the Lord because there's been an answered prayer. The answer prayer is Nathan's got a job that provides enough that Fran can stay at home.
Mm-hmm.
They can afford the piece of property they wanted. And it's everything they wanted. I said, well, everything Fran wanted. And they were talking about praying or whatever. Fran said, well, I was praying harder.
Yeah. It just shows who was praying more. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I was like, got him.
That's good.
So what's funny about it too, like we're talking about this. So, Fran and I were talking about it on the way to church this morning. Sorry. About just how much God has done in our life in less than a year, and we were talking about, look how far we've come, and she's like, we were talking about, December reconciling, and then, how good God has been to us, paving the way for us to reconcile. And then, selling the house that went super fast, and shout out to brother Kenny for selling that house for us. But
It
like
went for more than what she wanted for.
yeah, and it was on the market for like a week.
Hmm.
And as soon as it got on the market, she was already getting offers before the open house even happened, right? So like
Before the pictures even hit the internet, bro.
yeah, so it was like,
Yeah.
So he was working in that, and then, you know, she wasn't sure when she was going to leave her job, and then, okay, so let me walk this back a second. So what had happened was, um, we put the house on the market, and we knew we were going to move, and she wasn't sure when she was going to quit her job. And then we had the first initial offer that came through on the house, and it was at asking with like no contingencies and stuff like that. And you're rubbing off on me. So she wasn't sure, and then another offer came through, and it was like $5,000 more than what she was asking for it, but they wanted to do all the inspections and everything, right? It was going to be a hassle. So she wasn't sure which one to take, and then she wasn't sure when she should give her notice for the job. So we were talking about everything of, trying to discuss where to go. And I was like, have you been praying on it? Like, have you been seeking? And she's like, yeah. And I said, well, keep praying on it and like fully give it up to him. I said, sometimes God's just waiting to see that you're going to fully submit this to him. And sometimes he'll just take it out of your hand.
Mm-hmm.
And like in 2 days, he literally took both of those decisions right out of her hand. Brother Kenny was talking to one of the people that placed an offer, and he's like, you're basically running yourself out of here with this because you're being overly picky, and you're only going to give like this much money, which is in the same ballpark as the other person who doesn't want any of that.
Yeah.
So they ended up going above and beyond and saying no contingencies, no inspections, no nothing. So she got a considerable amount more than what we were asking for the house. And then her job, who she had explained, hey, by the summer, I'm probably gonna I'm gonna end up giving you a notice by summertime, because we'll be moving. They just called her and was like, we know that you're gonna be moving, you're gonna be quitting, so we're just gonna pay you until like this certain date, which was right around the time we were planning on her giving her notice anyways. So he just took those decisions out of her hand, paved the way, and they paid her to basically stay home and get the house ready for the sale and everything. So God was good to us in that situation. And then, my job and, coming down here and like, I'm telling you, literally we got down, and the next day the company called me and wanted me on site for a follow-up interview, and then offered me the job that Friday. So like we pulled in on a Tuesday. I was in their office, I think, on a Wednesday. And then that Friday they offered me the job that I'm currently working now. And then he's just been so good to us, and we were talking about that on the way, and just how in awe we are of how good he has been to us. Um, and it's not to say that I'm more blessed than anybody else or anything like that.
Yeah.
I just, it's
All God wants for us is to basically surrender control, give him the trust that we might not know exactly what's going to happen, God, but we're taking our hands off of it and trusting you. That's everybody thinks that if as long as I obey every rule in this book, then I will be blessed and get all of this. But all he wants is just for us to give him our trust. I mean, that's what it is.
And you said, I'm not any more blessed than anyone else. That was a true statement. Sometimes we're in life where we're not seeing the blessings, right? We're not paying attention to the blessings. And so we were talking about Joseph this morning in Connect, and someone said, not once did Joseph complain. if he did, it wasn't in the Bible, right?
Mhm.
Joseph, the son of Jacob. His brothers beat him up, throw him in a hole, plan to kill him,
Mhm.
decide not to kill him because Reuben's like, hey, we don't need his blood on our hands. Plus, Reuben was going to go back and get him, right?
Yep.
He's going to go back and get him. But before all that happened, they sold him into slavery.
Mhm.
He went to Egypt, went to Potiphar's house. God's hand was still on him. God showed favor to him. He became head of Potiphar's house, and then Potiphar's wife, right, had some evil designs on him, grabbed a hold of his robe and was like, hey, big boy, we're going to do this. And he's like, no, I'm not. Runs off. Smooth out of his, we need to run like that from sin, even if we have to run out of our own clothes like Joseph did. Then she accuses him of rape, right? Then he gets put in
Thrown
prison,
in jail. Mhm.
right? And then God's hand's still on him, right? What does Scripture say? It said God showed him kindness.
Mhm.
So he's put in charge of all the prisoners, which put him in a spot where the chief cupbearer and the chief baker are there. He interprets their dreams. And he says, hey, don't forget about me. Tell Pharaoh what I've done. One of them gets hung, right? The baker.
I just want to know how bad he had to cook to get hung for that.
Yeah, right. I said, I wonder what they did. Nathan said, burnt the pastries. The cupbearer, he goes back 2 years later. Pharaoh has a dream, right?
Mhm.
And Joseph interprets it, and then that's how he ends up being
Second in command
of Egypt, right? Yeah, and ultimately saves his family, which turned out to be the Israelites,
Mhm.
right? So Joseph, Jacob's son, saw the blessings even in his hardship. I feel like he took advantage of the blessings, right? Yeah, I'm in prison, but I'm still going to do this as unto the Lord, right? I'm still going to be a righteous man, and I'm still going to work as if I was working for the Lord,
Mhm.
which showed him favor in human eyes. When we're in bad situations, we need to look at the positive. Like this morning, Brother Jimmy, I said, how you feeling? He said, I'm feeling all right. And I almost said, well, it beats the alternative. And he and I had a conversation about this. I said, Brother Jimmy, I almost said, well, it beats the alternative, but really does it? I mean, if I'm not here, I'm walking the streets of gold. So, I mean,
Mhm.
that's the thing that we say that we probably shouldn't say, right? He said, yeah, we need to guard ourselves about that. Right. So we just need to pay attention to the blessings because there are small miracles happening around us all the time.
Mhm.
And you may not see someone place hands on somebody and they physically get healed or demons casted out or whatever. There's still little miracles going on. I'm not going to call that a little miracle because it's not even a year, and his family's life have completely changed. And that's a miracle in itself, right? That was a supernatural thing that happened only because you got to a place where you allow God just to take control. And there was a lot of people praying, right? Interceding for you and Fran on that behalf. Now y'all are here. Now we just got to keep coming alongside y'all. Not that y'all are any crazy. We all need people to come alongside us. So,
Yeah, I mean, so looking at your situation now, you see the blessings, right? And you're so thankful for what God's the clear and swift path he has paved for you, right? And with same thing with Joseph in the Bible, you can look at that and go, well, he's second in command in Egypt. What wonderful blessings he has, and then you can look at your own life and be like, oh, well, look at me, look what I'm doing. But what about all the things that Joseph? What about
endured.
it? What about all the things you went through to get to this place, right? All the things that Joseph endured and went through. He couldn't have been second in command
If he
of
hadn't been
Egypt
beat up.
if he hadn't have been beat up, thrown in jail, forgotten about, ignored. I mean, all of those things had to happen for him to be mentally, spiritually in a position to be second in command in Egypt. And his story didn't end there, right? But that was where today's lesson did. But same thing with you. If all of those things hadn't have happened, but you yourself took control of a situation years ago and brought yourself here, I don't think it would have been as smooth of a path to get here, or once you got here, a job and the house and all that, right? Because you did it on your terms, not God's. And you know, it was uncomfortable, right? It wasn't a pleasant 3 or 4 years.
Correct.
But you ultimately in that time, in that worst time, you put your trust in God and said, whatever I need to do. He got you alone to where you would listen to him, and it got you to where you are now, right? So and that was kind of what we talked about in ours, is that, you know, where are you at in relation to Joseph's story? You know, are you stuck in the well right now? And if you are you fully dwelling on your current circumstance, your situation, or are you trying to make the most of it and ask God what he's trying to teach you in that process? You know, and if we can remove ourselves, we all want to be at the center of the universe, and everything should revolve around me and my comfort and my, you know, everything,
wants and
desires, you know. And if we will remove ourselves from being center of the universe, put God there and go, God, what are you doing in my life for your will? Then there's blessings from that, by taking the focus off of ourselves and putting it on God. So it's one of those things where you have to experience yourself to fully wrap your head around it.
Yeah. We probably need to do a podcast on Joseph, man.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, it might be a 2-part series there.
Yeah.
So, we're getting ready.
Started preaching then.
Yeah, you did. That's all right. We're about to wrap up. We got family fun festival tonight at our church. I'm running the fishing game. You're doing the joust.
Yeah, the pool noodle joust.
My nephews are going to tear that room up. So
I'm going to let the cat out of the bag, because when this airs, it will have already have happened. But this is what we call at our church a love week, where we have, as a church, every year we pick a group to pray for and love on. And this year we have picked homeschool moms. And so we have all been praying for the homeschool mothers in our community, and we have lavished love on them. And tonight we are having this, what is it termed? Family Fun Festival?
Family Fun Festival,
and
or whatever.
And it's specifically for them, and to show love to them and their families. And so we're hoping for a wonderful turnout. The weather is not the greatest today, but
yeah, it's going to be warm in the gym, though.
It's going to be warm and dry in the gym, so we're going to have a great time.
To add a little bit to that, so each homeschool mom that we have a list of the names, each homeschool mom has one individual who prays for them through the process. And I forget how many days it is. 40 days. Yeah.
Yep.
And so tonight they will be revealed to them who has been praying for them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so that's going to be kind of neat. Then we're going to have hot dogs and games and candy and everything else. So it's going to be a fun time. Do you have an idea of what you're going to do for an episode? Because next one is you guiding the episode.
Yeah, I know.
So
maybe I guess you're rubbing off on me more than I thought.
Oh yeah.
I don't have anything planned. I mean,
really?
I've got.
You got an idea?
I've got ideas, but like there's no outline.
Throw 2 ideas out there. your top two.
So, the one that I'm leaning on the most is because of it was a request.
Ooh, I know what you're going to say.
And it's going to be interesting if we can pull it off, because it's a very specific topic
I think
on
we can.
struggling with profanity. So my thought is, that was a specific request from a friend of mine that he struggles with. And he says, I would love for you to do a podcast, because that is just something I cannot get control of. And so I think the way I want to do this, though, is to expand it to just our words, because you don't have to use profanity to tear somebody apart. It can be in a lot of, so the power of our tongue and our words, I think, will be the bigger theme, with a a heavy focus on profanity as being part of that. Kind of like, the mental struggles,
Yeah.
where the three you mentioned.
So our speech.
Yeah.
I think we ought to do that.
Yeah.
Because I got all kind of scriptures that's popping in my head, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, you got scriptures. I got examples. I'm thinking of all the ways that
I've got examples too, but
torn people down.
Well, and I mean, profanity can be bad words or speaking death, right? When we should speak life, right? So, yeah, I've got, I think we ought to do that. I just want to blurt that scripture out, but I'm not. I'm going to save it. So possibly the next episode will be, I think it ought to be something about our speech.
Yeah.
You can come up with a name for it.
So yeah, okay. I'm with you. I think I'm probably on the same page with you on the verse. So, but yeah, I've got, we can speak life or death.
Yes.
Using our speech.
Yes,
and so,
and cussing is speaking death.
It is absolutely that.
So you get your phone pulled up over there.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine. We're at the end.
Yeah, we're at the end. But before you say that, whatever you got, I'll let you do. But I also,
what you had in your back pocket.
So I had some in my back pocket. I actually had like a list of,
So are these questions we need to answer now? Just do one.
That's what I was going to do. Because I know y'all usually do one at the end where, Stanton would bring a question and then ask, and you would think about it for the week, and you'd come in and talk about it, right? So that's kind of the idea.
All right, we'll do that. And then, hold on.
So after that, you talk like you know what's on that.
I don't know what's on. I knew he was going to ask. I mean, I knew he was going to ask something. I don't know. Okay, I don't know what he's going to ask.
I'm getting nervous again.
Don't get nervous. I don't know what he's going to ask, but I knew he's going to ask something.
Okay.
So before that, after you ask that, close us out in prayer.
Oh, why are you going to put me on the spot with a prayer today?
Well, I mean, do you not pray to him?
I mean, I do pray.
It's just three guys, man. We're just
pretend that's
I have
not
a
there.
thing about public prayer. It just, I don't know. I freeze up.
Well, don't freeze up.
So
even if you're going to be like Gaby and be like, thank you for the food, thank you for the weather, give us a happy, what do you say? Happy ever after?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
All right. What's your questions?
All right. So I do have a list here. I like having, I talk with my dad about, different things about the scripture and the Bible and, life here and the life after. And I'm a big fan of like things that we don't necessarily know, things that can't be answered, I wouldn't say almost like what ifs, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
But him and I got into a pretty deep conversation. I read through Revelations. My dad's really good with that.
Oof.
And we were just talking about different things in the world. And he posed the question to me. So I'm going to pose the question to y'all.
And we're going to answer this
on the spot, on the fly,
or next time.
You could answer it now.
So this could be our AAR?
Yeah, you could answer it now, or you could answer it next week, and you can get Stanton involved in it. And it's kind of, it'll kind of get
so you're gonna
listeners
have to,
also.
Yeah, so you're going to have to give this question to David afterwards so he can put it in his timeline for the AAR.
I'll make sure. That's fine. I'll make sure I write it
So
down.
you're in charge of the AAR next week, so go ahead.
So do you think that God would or would not forgive Lucifer if he truly had a heart of repentance? If he truly repented?
Oh, I don't need a whole week for that one. I don't have a whole week for that one. You want me to answer it?
Well, okay. Yeah, there's a couple of direction. All right. So what's
So if
all right?
if Lucifer,
All right. What's your answer?
yes.
Yes.
Eh, do I think he'll ever get to that point? No,
No.
because I've read Revelations.
Right.
So,
Right. And
but
that's
yes,
what we
if he came to a true heart of repentance, right, and he confessed, and I need Jesus,
right.
the whole nine, right, what we have to do, then yes.
But he won't.
But he
No,
won't.
he won't.
Right.
Right.
No.
No, he won't. That's why I said.
I
mean, that's it.
purely
I mean,
speculative.
yeah. I mean, that's a pretty good question.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that was a bad question.
No.
I mean, we know God's true nature,
Correct.
right? Sometimes it's hard for us to comprehend God's true nature,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
In our human minds, because our ways aren't his ways, our thoughts aren't his thoughts. But if you believe what you believe about the gospel, how all of us came to know Christ,
Mm-hmm.
then your answer has to be yes.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. But we understand he's not, because we all read the end of the book, right? And what I mean by book, it's not a story. The end of Revelations, we know what happens. But yes, my answer is yes.
Yeah, because you can people, and I don't know if this is just like a real generic cliche thing, but people say that there's no way God can forgive me for what I've done, the life I've lived. That's a lie from Satan himself,
Right.
because anybody is capable of receiving God's forgiveness if they had. Well, how did it end? If he has a heart of repentance,
True heart of repentance.
if he has anybody who has a true heart, that's a loaded question. But anybody who has a true heart of repentance can be forgiven, even Satan. And there's nobody more evil and worse and anti-God than him.
Right.
But we know how this ends out with Satan.
Yeah. And he's not going to have a true heart of repentance.
Right. But
So,
anybody who can be forgiven,
yes,
will be forgiven by God.
So, and I'll end. So we were discussing that, and because I was like, for me, it just blows my mind because I've read the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
I know how it ends for him. So I know he knows how it ends for him. And it's like, you're headed towards this, and you're just going to keep chugging along.
but we as humans are no different. There's a lot of people that know what that says. Now, they don't know as in know it here. Like, I know Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
right? They are aware. How about that? He's aware of what's going to happen, right? They're aware of what's going to happen if they deny Christ.
They don't accept it, though.
No, that's why I said aware.
Yeah.
They're aware of it, but they're like, maybe not. But it's the true heart of repentance.
Mm-hmm.
It's the pricking of the Holy Spirit. And we could go in a million different directions with that question, because I got a lot of stuff. I wish you'd asked that earlier instead of now, because, well, I'm glad you didn't, because we could have went
forever on that.
forever. So
yeah.
anyways,
So okay, now
yeah,
are we under a timeline here? Are we at that magical,
we're getting close to it.
uncomfortable mark where we think we've gone too long?
I mean,
what mark are we at?
it's we're at 2:08, 2 hours and 8 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty long. But So does the devil? I think the devil thinks he still has a chance to win.
I don't know. This is a rabbit hole.
Yeah, I know.
This will be another hour.
Yeah, right.
We'll look down and it'll be 4 hours from now. So the next time we have Nathan on, maybe we can discuss it. Yeah, he's got a list of them over there.
All right.
Anyways,
you should have just barreled in right in the middle of it with those. I didn't know what
that's not even the
had.
best one.
Yeah.
No, we don't need.
Huh?
So the next time we have you on, and
that's going to be too long. I got to know now. You got to share those.
No, I may give up my spot.
Okay.
So, we'll have to do it on a Sunday or a late Saturday afternoon for him because he works nights.
If I don't work Friday night.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We may do a bonus episode.
Hey,
I mean, you never know what's going to be up our sleeves.
Hey, we can fit. I mean, we planned on fitting 4 around this table anyway. So, I mean, you can come in at any time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
It doesn't have to be. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't
have to give up your spots. What I'm saying, because we originally planned on it being 4 of us.
No, I meant my spot as in topic.
Oh, I got you.
So it's going to be something about speech next go around. Hopefully we see Stanton tonight at the Family Fun Fest. I don't know what time he gets off. So you're going to pray, and then we're going to do our little sign off, and then
you want me to do that?
You can, yeah. Or if do you know how to say it?
Rock Kasak.
Yeah, Nathan can say it. There you go. And then you can throw your be strong and whatever it is, courageous. Anyways. Yeah. So y'all again, don't forgive us. David doesn't have a hat on. We got these headphones on, so God can still hear us.
That's right. Yeah.
Forgive me if this is anything spectacular.
No, dude, just talk. Just
all
talk.
right, Moses. All right,
here we go.
Making excuses, bro.
Just talk to Abba Father, and
that's right.
Go ahead.
All right. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this time that we had to come together and just talk about you and how you've moved in our lives, Lord, and the connections that you've made for us with not only the men in our lives but the women in our lives as well. God, the ability to just speak about the blessings that you've showered upon us and how you've given us chances to sharpen each other. God, I thank you every day for the blessings that you've given me from my family to my friends and my community. Lord, I pray that you be with the men in this room and all those that are watching, and just as they go throughout the week, that they seek you in your face and for guidance, and they fully submit to you, because the true blessings are through you when we fully submit. God, I thank you for all that you've done and that you plan to do. And in Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen.
All right, Nate, sign us out.
Rock Kazak.
Be strong and courageous. Peace out.
We don't know what we're engaged with. Did you know that you have the armory of heaven? That you have everything you need for life and godliness to push the enemy forces back? And so when you hear talk, your knuckles spiritually should immediately turn white. And you should find yourself gritting your spiritual teeth with a belligerence against the enemy. He goes down. There are souls that must be saved.